I just do that. And you can see some of my lines here. I've got a line that way because I wanted to make sure my abdomen area is all flowing in the same direction that his form is. So I don't have abs going on for a different angle. There's nothing worse than that. That'll always slow you down if your abs are in a different angle to your body. So I just have to make sure that I've got that angle there drawn in. That's just a nice reminder to me that this is the direction that the body is going, Will. Now you can see at this stage, even though I've got the basics starting to come together, I have not decided where my light source is yet. I'll probably do that in a minute. I don't add any tone until I have that worked out. That sort of comes next. All right, so I'm going to do some of that face now, I think. So I'm just going to bring our camera down a bit, if I can, without breaking the whole setup here. There we are. Now, the trick here, because he's got such a wide face, we don't want it to look like it's a massive head stuck in this body. I still want the weight of most of what we're doing here today to be in the bulk of his body. I don't want the head to be so big that it overpowers all of that. So I started to put in a little bit of work around the face because I just love doing this bit. This is my favorite part of the drawing, is the faces. But I've given him sort of an older man's face because he is an older character in the cartoons. He's the head of the guards for the palace. Even in the mini book, though, the mini comics, he was a bit of a man of mystery. Sort of came out of nowhere, helped to defend the Castle Grayskull. But they've sort of fleshed that out a bit in the cartoons, which is cool. The father of Tila. Right, let me just get my tracing paper. I use tracing paper to stop myself from smudging everywhere. Now, as you can see, even though he's got a helmet, I always draw the whole face because I like to make sure I keep it in reasonable proportion as I'm going. Now, as I'm going, even though you can't see my face, I'm squinting right now because that's what I do with my faces as I'm doing. I kind of feel where that tensions and the cause and effect are. If that squint's there, that's going to get some tightness in the corner of that eye, and it's going to get some little sort of crow's feet happening there. Okay. And I'm just going to curve that around here, and I want to give him sort of a bit of a, in the original drawing, we just look at that again, he's got a fairly pudgy little nose, which is interesting. It was like that on the toy as well. It's like all the toys came with a very squishy head. They weren't hard plastic. You can see over the iterations, his nose has grown in length. I'm gonna probably give him a bit of a nose like that, where it's pudgy, but it's kind of like it's had a few hits in its time. Might give it a little bit of a broken sort of angle to it. And I'll give it that little ball on the end of his nose, so I'll keep that. And because we're looking up a little bit, we're going to see a little bit under that nostril. And because his head's turned, that nostril is just going to be tucked away just in the corner there. Like so. I'll just lighten a bit of that up in the middle. Get rid of those construction lines. Like so. All right, so. Saying lots of so's. Here we go. Now, because I'm going to have his mouth sort of grimacing, because he's swinging like, raw, like he's really hit it, a lot of sort of power in that swing, I'm going to give him a bit of a grimace on his face, which means that will have an effect on the cheekbone here. So even though I don't want to do these lines too quickly, I want to make sure that it has an effect on the cheekbone. All right, Kenny is here. So great to see you, Kenny. I'm going to throw you on stage. Welcome. How are you today?
Welcome, welcome.
Amazing, Kenny Calder. Yeah, it took me it took me a while because I tried to I had the figure idea of what I wanted, but it's trying to include all the things that you love, like trying to get all the armor pieces in there without obscuring too much. It's a bit of a juggle. But
Right.
yeah, there now. I've got a bit of catching
Man,
up.
but like the gestures, that looks great.
Yes, I've got him sort of propped up
Fantastic.
against the robot that he's smashing in the head. So that'll be good. How's yours going, buddy? Have you done any more to yours, or you just jumping straight in from last week?
No. Today I'm gonna add the club. I'm gonna add the club in the left hand, right? I got him in the short sword. I added this small laser pistol last week.
Nice.
Right. So today we're gonna add the club that sort of looks like it's a leg from a coffee table.
The giant mace, Nana's coffee table mace.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So we went through a little bit about the different images of Man-at-Arms, and we just talked about, again, I'll just bring it up on the stage, the original drawing of him, and I'm copying the armor from this, but that's my reference point because I just love it. There's just so much in that, and like if you look even on his chest, tiny little antiquitex sort of running in and out of the form there, all over the place. Like they just noodled and had a good time playing with it.
It's got a steampunk. It's got kind of a steampunk aesthetic.
Yeah, it's a bizarre design. I love it. And should we ever do a character where I pose the back of it? I'm going to do the little plastic straps. I just need to do it. But that's the different forms from the mini comics to the filmation to now the early 2000s reference, which is what you're doing, which is the that giant sort of.
Are those straps, or is that an animal pelt from the mini comics?
Where do you mean? Sorry, on his front of his chest.
From the comic.
The comic's the bottom right hand corner.
From the comic bottom right of the screen.
Yeah,
right. So those are the ones I'm talking about. So those black portions, like around the shoulder, like where the chest meets the shoulder, is that an animal pelt or what is that?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Like if you look at the original drawing, there it is there. So it's almost like he's had leftovers from the undies and he's decided to make some shoulder. I mean, there's going to be chafing. I mean, look at that armor. I mean, you don't want that rubbing on the massive pecs. And I still don't understand what's the green bodysuit that he's wearing. It covers the hands. I don't understand what's really going on there. But sometimes we just roll with it. So I'm going with the black sort of original colors, which is kind of like the new Kevin Smith one in the middle. And I am going with the moustache, I've decided.
Of course, you got to do the stack. I'm going to go with the same black trim with the pelt portion. And you know what? I think I will add the pelt around the shoulder. I like that look. It's a good look.
Yeah. It's different. It's different to the other, and it kind of fills that area in nicely. Yeah, that's cool. So we have a vet here today.
Yeah, we've got because in comparison to. I'm sorry. No, so in comparison to how he's got that big shoulder pad on the left, I feel like we could fill in some of the space with a pelt along the shoulder here.
It gives it a nice buffer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got about 3 other people in the room with us here today, Kenny. Yvette's one. She says hello today. So Yvette's here, and we're filling in the room, which is nice to see.
Perfect.
So Yeah. So
Happy Friday to all those on the East Coast if you're here stateside.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Good morning if you're down under.
Indeed. Well, we're heading towards lunchtime, just about 2 minutes off lunch. So you think you'll get the colours today, or just the sketch stage?
No, I think I'm just gonna like really like dig into the sketch, so the sketch is crisp. I mean, because like Man at Arms, in comparison to the other characters that we've illustrated up to this point, you know, he's got a lot of little nuances and details to his design.
Yeah, he's got lots going on.
So I think I'm gonna just solidify all of my details first before moving on to the next phase.
Absolutely. You are breaking up a little bit, bud.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of a delay, but that might be just my Saturday morning brain. That happens.
Well, let's see. Let me see if I jump out and jump back in if that fixes it.
Do it. All right, so Kenny will be back in a second. I am just trying to widen his face and his cheekbones without making his head look too wide at the same time as well. And there. There we are. Going to work. I'll just bring it in there like that. All right, Kenny's back with us again. Here we go. How's that, Kenny? Can you hear me all right?
How's this?
Yeah, that's good. That seems like a quicker reaction.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I do feel like I'm battling with the size of this guy's head. He keeps getting a bit big on me. But I'll just keep reducing it. I think it's a moustache.
Nah, it looks good. I mean, it could be the stash, but you remember that, you know, the helmet's going to flare out a little bit, so that whole the right side is going to drop into shadow anyway, so it's okay for it to feel big.
Too true. The angry metal shop teacher, isn't he? Is that what we called him last week? From high school.
Indeed. How's the week been for you, Will?
It's been good. It's been good. We're sort of beginning school term next week, so we're back into term 1 of 2024. So it's been a case of just kind of trying to wrap up as many or begin and get things in motion. A lot of the projects before, you know, school sort of dominates my week, which is what sometimes happens, which is great. But it's trying to get the sort of the machine rolling, you know, so to speak, so that when I'm back, it's kind of a rhythm of when I get home, I just, you know, once the kids are in bed, I can sort of set up and do what I need to do without, you know, starting anything. So it's been a case of doing that and getting some things in play. So that's been good. How about you? How was your week?
Good. Very productive. Hey, Yvette. So this week I started back at the private school that I teach at, and you know, I've been setting some things up for the studio with the studio kids that I teach with, and you know, just kind of starting to storyboard the next book project. And the what else? Oh, the next show. I got the Beyond Comic Con coming up in February, so I'm preparing for that, as well as a workshop where we're going to be drawing characters from the Tim Burton version of Alice in Wonderland.
Nice. That sounds fun, man.
Oof.
And welcome to Chris Foreman. We got Chris Foreman in the house as well.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? Thank you.
Yeah, that
Chris.
sounds fun. That sounds lots of fun.
Oh, I'm excited for it. The last Tim Burton one that I did was for the Nightmare Before Christmas, and that one was a super hit. That was a big hit. Yep. So it's the first one that we're doing for the year.
That sounds good, man. It's a shame it's not live streaming.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Cool.
You know, I'm gonna pitch it to the owners to see if we can probably do something live. We could do an Instagram live for those of you that are in the audience right now. I teach at the Art Shack. It's the Instagram account is called the Art Shack Miami. It is it's an open studio for children as well as adults. I've been teaching there for about, and it's a great place to just kind of be creative, surrounded by other creatives. The place itself is very open format, so it's just space enough for anybody who's looking to improve their craft or learn a new craft.
Very cool. Very cool, man. So I suppose a lot of stylizing, sort of Burton-esque sort of tricks you got to do with his forms as well. The large eyes and the narrow chins and the sort of exaggerated form. Mm-hmm. So that'd be lots of fun. Yeah, lots of fun.
So like along the lines of caricature.
Yeah. So have you noticed any bizarre sort of eccentric natures about Man-at-Arms as you've been moving through your figure design? Besides the fact that he goes by his title rather than a name. I am the Man-at-Arms.
Artist with paint, right?
Like... I know. So funny to me. I am Man-at-Arms. Okay. All right. You didn't want to go with Duncan? That's all right. It's whatever your thing is. Righto, mate. Champion. It's funny, isn't it?
It's like that character out of the Boondocks, a pimp named Slickback. You gotta see the whole thing.
That's right. I am my title. It's funny. This is going to be a lot of fun to paint. I feel like there's going to be lots of little.
Oh yeah.
Lots of armors.
And I think that the just the pose that you have, it feels really dynamic. Like I think it's more dynamic than some of the previous ones that you've done up to this point, right? Because you got that nice.
That would have been hard,
right?
It would have been hard. Some of them were a bit stoic.
No, I think it works. You're figuring your way through it, and it's working out for you because that's a great twist, right? Your hand position is perfect. Like he's getting that whole swing on that robot.
He's getting full batter up. I got to admit, I had to stand up in the lounge room trying to pose it. I was saying to Billy when we first started streaming today, I had to sort of get in there and work the angle of the hip correctly and the ribs, making sure that those two sort of joined correctly. You have the tilt of the hip and the rib cage and making sure it's in the right spot. which then affects the shoulders. Sort of getting those abs twisting around. So it's a tricky one, but I kind of had in my brain what I knew what I wanted to do. And I did decide to take him off the battle ram. I was going to have him on the battle ram, but I decided against that in the end. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think this was definitely a great choice. This is definitely a great choice. Now, are you gonna put the full body of the robot, or are you gonna cut it off so that we're focused more so on Man-at-Arms himself?
Yeah, so the hoverbots, which are skeletal as little floating robots. I didn't do anything from Hordak because I was going to do the Horde Trooper, but let's get that straightened up a bit. There we are. Okay, so you can see I've got.
I see.
He's sort of pushing his leg down onto the top of that robot that's going to be there, and as he's swung, and it's half the head's going to be coming up. So this is all going to be shrapnel showing the movement of the. And then I'm going to do some random ones sort of firing lasers at him because they shoot lasers. Of course they do. And then just going to be a pile of just bodies of robots underneath him. So he's in mid-battle, basically. So that's the plan.
Matt, this might be your best one, Will.
I hope so.
Might be your best one.
Level up. Keep trying to level up each one. I was pretty happy with how Merman came out, but again, Merman was
that's the objective.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, absolutely.
True.
So I kind of wanted to get a bit of practice in with this one because the battle armor He-Man's going to be in the same sort of thing, mid-battle. When we get to him, we've already been thinking about battle armor He-Man with his battle axe out.
Okay.
Now, did you get a chance to catch the animation during the week, the new one?
I have not. I have not. I've had one of those weeks because aside from work and commission stuff, Melly's been kind of sick, so stepping up as her male nurse. Right. To make sure the wife's good and
yes.
But I'm gonna definitely catch up on that this weekend.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Is it any good? Did you see it?
Yeah, I've watched the first couple of episodes because they dumped the whole lot on Netflix, but they have tried to correct the ship, I think, from the first one. So trying to lay off of the preaching a bit and just going back to good storytelling and trying to revise some of the murders that they've done in the first series. So that was interesting.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. You have to give it a watch. And it's not, I thought it was under the same banner, but it's not. It's Revolutions, not Revelations anymore. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was looking up the first one I had on the playlist.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, give me his sort of chunky knee pad here. Love the chunky knee pad.
What grade of pencil are you using?
I started with a H, so I went in fairly light, but now I'm just going over with a B to sort of define my areas a bit clearer for myself. And then what I'll do is before I paint, I'll hit it up with a kneadable eraser, just go to the top of it and just take off a layer or two. Chris Borman says, are you working on Bristol board? So, Kenny, you want to go with that one first?
Yes, absolutely. Bristol board is always going to be my go-to, simply because of its versatility, its ability to hold paint, watercolor, gouache, ink. It's great with if you're working with graphite, pastels. It's super, super diverse. So I will 95% of the time always work with Bristol. even with my classes, I have them always work on Bristol.
Nice. So I'm just using Bristol paper, and it's probably a little bit, and it's vellum, so it's nice and smooth. It takes the brush nicely.
Ooh, nice.
But it's probably a little bit thicker than, you know, obviously your normal run-of-the-mill paper. But I do have to tread carefully so it doesn't cornflake on me, because you go too quickly with the watercolors, it tends to. But I don't tend to do a lot of washing with mine. You see me paint, Kenny. It's fairly layered and fairly thick, so I can tend to get away with it on this.
Yeah.
If I tried large watercoloring backgrounds, the paper would just completely buckle on me.
No, if you're planning a big piece, it's always best to go with actual like watercolor paper.
For sure.
Well, I guess depending on the texture, like you'd want to go either cold pressed or hot pressed, you know, so that it's durable enough to hold, you know, the abuse and the strokes with the wet brush.
Absolutely. Now, thanks for the question, Chris. And if anyone doesn't know Chris Borman's work, he's an excellent pencil artist himself. I think, Chris, the last time I saw you on the Artists of the Universe site, he did this really cool. You're working on a Star Wars piece, I think, with Luke and the Dagobah sort of background. Yeah, he's a great artist. If you jump on Facebook and follow Chris, because he does some cool stuff. And throw your links out, Chris, in our chat section, and we'll throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Share those links. Share the links, or at least the @ name, so that, you know, the audience can give you a follow, sir.
All right, so we've got about 4 people in the room. If you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. Kenny and I are working our way through the Masters of the Universe realm, and there's 52 of them. We're up to number 4, so we're going to be here a while. And we are working on Man-at-Arms today. So, as always, please, if your first time is with us today, please like and subscribe and click on the notify button so you know when we do go live, when we do our updates. And it just helps us to sort of bump our subscribers up. So the closer we get to monetizing the channel, sometimes it's going to be even easier for us to update equipment and things like that. And Chris just finished it. He has an 18 by 24 canvas board. Yeah, nice one. And there's Chris Borman's link there on the screen.
Wow.
Get on there. Follow his stuff. He's an excellent artist and an excellent supporter of artists. So we love both of those things. Now, looking at the knee pad there, Kenny, the things are not lined up. He's got some bizarre actions happening here. There's a bit of non-symmetry. He's like, isn't on the symmetry thing happening,
right?
On the knee pad.
They stagger a little bit.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, did he do that bit first and then realize he stuffed it, but ran out of, like, what happened? Like, he worked it out for the shoulder pad, but not the knee pad. It's like,
probably, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are you doing?
I went with the gear one, so I got the 6 the 6 notches on it.
Nice.
And I'm gonna do something similar with the mace, to where the notches are chunky and worn. I'm gonna like put some chips along the edges so it feels like battle ridden.
Yes.
I will say that Man-at-Arms, I'm probably having them since we started this challenge.
You having the best fun with it?
Yeah.
Did you say? Yeah. Yes, I've noticed that they've done a bit of recorrection when you look at the animation. You can see they got the 3 balance and you got the super tech one.
I think I borrowed from all of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've got almost a cybernetic leg there on the one on the left, isn't
he? Yeah, the one on the left. Yeah, it looks like it's more of a like an exosuit all on. Yeah.
Because you can see his green tights at the top of it. So maybe it's like a Iron Man sort of suit leg. Yeah, cool. Yeah. And then, of course, the Filmation one, you got nothing. No knee pads, just bare old knees. Run around in these tiny, tiny trunks.
Just he's out there. That's why he's grumpy. He's a grumpy guy.
Like armored at the top and then nothing. There's nothing, like nothing. Just run around. Like it's kind of like the nightmares you have when you're a kid when you turn up to school in underwear. It's that kind of stuff, Like he's running around in a half.
Old knees.
Exactly.
Something. He's a buffer. He's some icy hot, something to keep the knees going.
There you go. Yeah. Like if you're gonna skin an animal, like would you not extend it down a bit if you got nothing? Like I don't know. Pants seem to elude them in this universe.
Yes.
They can wear a cloak, like Orko's wearing a sort of a magician's cloak, but
don't seem to exist. Yeah, but it's either a cloak or an animal pelt.
Yeah, it's a cloak or undies. That's your options. Like if you go into your wardrobe to get fitted up before you walk out the door, it's cloak or underwear. Not even like and only animal pelt. You can have any color as long as it's an animal pelt. There's rules.
Now, I will say that for as much as these characters have been wearing animal pelts, have you noticed that those have a pattern to the fur?
There is. Did you say?
There is no pattern, like spots or stripes. Like, what kind of animals are these?
Right. It's like they had one animal and just dyed it different colors. Just there you go. There's your bright blue ones and there's your black ones. But I did notice Merman's one almost looked solid, like it was coral or something. It's bizarre.
Right.
Thanks, Chris. I'll check that out.
So Chris shot us a DM. Ooh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
That is awesome, Chris.
Let's see
the trees look great. The perspective is nice. I mean, even the colors on this, it looks fantastic.
I'm gonna see if I can say.
I think what I enjoy most about it is the scale.
Yeah, I like how it's
the scaling
down.
Looks great on this. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me just see if I can.
The perspective looking up at the jet is great. The trees feel nice and swampy. Color palette is great. I love it. This is great work, Chris.
Just excuse me while I just try.
Very solid piece.
I'm just going to try to bring his picture up for us to look at. That's lucky. Okay. So, geez, that's a big old mace he's got there, Kenny.
What medium is that, Chris? Say again.
That's a big old mace you got on the Man at Arms there. That's massive. He's huge. He's not mucking around.
That is the only way to go. He's not messing around.
No.
What medium is that, Chris? Did you use on the Star Wars piece.
All right, there's Chris's picture. There we go. It came out a bit pixelated, didn't it? On my one, but
beautiful. I think give it a second. It should. Let's see.
But you get, at least you get the perspective. I love the moonlight. That's very cool.
Because man, yeah, the moonlight came out great on that. The sort of gradient in the night sky is fantastic. The highlights on the clouds, he nails it. He nails it.
Very cool. And I love how it's kind of just flooding the whole area there.
Ooh, okay. Acrylic. Nice. Very nice.
Good job, Chris. Well done.
Excellent work. Excellent work.
Now, Chris, was that for something, or you just decided to just you just love that scene from the film? Was that for a series or something? It looks like it's intentionally part of something, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How are your cards going, Kenny?
Good. Very good. Very, very good. I'll be revealing some more of that stuff like very soon.
Just going to get that armband happening there. Like so. Have you thought about your environment for Man at Arms, which you're doing in your background?
I'm gonna try. I have no idea. I think I'm just gonna wing it. I'm probably gonna do something similar to what you're doing with a battle scene. So maybe some embers, some embers come kind of like rising up off the ground. Some smoke and using a very warm gray for the ground, so it feels like soot.
Yep, that's cool.
That was the high point of The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I agree. I'm just gonna lay in some scratches into the armor and the mace.
Ooh, a bit of damage.
Drop it. A little bit of damage. Right. You're gonna do. I'm gonna do it on the mace. I'm gonna do it on the chest and on his leg armor here.
Yep, that's cool.
So that Man at Arms feels a little grittier.
What about on the face visor on his chest plate there? That'd be cool too. Like he's deflected a few blows.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe a couple dents. Ooh, some dents.
Yeah, dents would be good. Cool. Bit of Boba Fett dent happening. We're going with the Empire Strikes Back theme happening today.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be fun when we do the Star Wars. The Star Wars 52 challenge is going to be a winner, I think. That's going to be fun.
Oof. Oh yeah,
Chris will have to jump in. I think
for Star Wars, I can break it up into like maybe three portions, right? 3 sections, right? So it's like Sith, Jedi, and Rebels.
Scoundrels. you can do the underbelly too.
Yeah.
Sort of the gangsters and the crime lords and the cantinas.
You got to.
You got to do the underbelly.
You got to.
You got to have a Dengar. That's the way it is. Just the way it is.
Absolutely.
That's almost my favorite part of the Star Wars universe is the underbelly.
That's going to be a fun set.
Yeah.
Same. It almost feels like it's almost the series itself is sort of like dominated with Jedi and Sith. So
yeah,
it's fun to see like what like the regular characters, we're going through.
Yeah, the ones that take advantage of those two distracting themselves. Like let's run a bit of an opportunity happening here while the Jedi and the Sith are fighting all the time. Let's get a bit of a play happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing his weird sort of. He's got sort of on his arm and his forearm. He's got this weird sort of bracelet that separates from the forearm plates. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's the standard Masters of the Universe bracelet under the armor.
But no gauntlet on that one. He's just got the armor plate on that left arm. But not even a flesh gauntlet. Nothing. So he's got
it's
that.
Not even like the full forearm one.
No, he hasn't got the flamulet. the flesh amulet. He's just got this little sort of gold, Pandora thing sort of attached to the front there to just hold on the gauntlet a little bit there. Just a bit of bling. It's very 80s. Like he's got the little gold bracelet and the moustache. He just needs a little chain around the neck and be right to go. It's very 80s.
Absolutely. And a button-up shirt with palm trees patterned on
it. A button-up shirt with only 2 buttons done.
That's right. Throwing off the taco meat.
Yeah, got the chest carpet coming out there. Well, I keep seeing Tom Selleck every time I'm doing this guy. Tom Selleck.
The chest carpet.
The chest carpet. The welcome mat.
That's awesome. The chest carpet. I like that. Oh man.
I can just imagine the Tom Selleck chest carpet having on his character.
Oh.
Maybe that's not the pelt on his armor. That's just like part of the chest carpet hanging out.
Maybe he's seeping through he's seeping through the cracks in the
armor. That's right.
Man, that's great. Chest carpet.
He's wanted by the villains because he has his own pelt.
I'm going to use that. There you go. Feather in some of this pelt on the boots. All right, so I'm thinking my light source is going to come in from the left.
Oh yeah.
So that I can get that nice shadow underneath this arm here holding the sword.
Yep.
Right, and then but the body can do sort of like this S shape.
Nice. You get a bit of reflected light happening on the right of that armor there too. That'd be cool.
Absolutely, yeah. So we can that when I start laying in the color, these dents right here, I can make those dents pop a little bit, right? Because they'll be pushed in some parts, but obviously with the push in, you're gonna get some raised areas.
Yes. That's gonna be stellar, mate. That's gonna be good. Very cool.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm having fun with Man at Arms. This is probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. This is close to your love of mechs, though, too, isn't it? That machinery and man.
Yeah.
Combination. the merging. Yeah, Chris, I loved
Yeah.
Andor, and I think the season 2 is going to be interesting when it comes out as well. So yeah, lots of the underbelly of Star Wars, which is cool. That's what I loved about it's like Rogue One and The Mandalorian. You get to see other parts of the Star Wars universe, which is really cool. All right, I'm going to get this head wrapped up. I'm tweaking around on the armor here, not sort of avoiding. I'm avoiding the head.
Nah, you gotta
finish the head.
You gotta get that in, and that's the mechanic part.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze my screen a little bit shorter so I can see my head reference for a second because I need to look at his helmet. All right.
Sure.
So I might not see the comments if they're coming up. Kenny, you're going to have to watch for me. Man, the original design of his
helmet. I got you. No worries.
I got right out there, isn't it? Right out there. It's wild.
Yeah.
So it comes around like that. And like that. You can't really see his ears, can you?
No, you can't at all.
No,
because it feels like the helmet sort of it covers a lot of that. So you should be able to cover up like where would his sideburns be?
Yeah,
where his sideburns would be, I guess. You know what I mean?
Damn it! I wanted to wrap up the whole 80s feel with some big lamb chop sideburns happening on the side. Damn it!
With some chops.
Some choppies hanging
some Hogan chops.
Yeah, that's it. Flare it out a bit there. Yeah, it's kind of snug on the face. You can see underneath the helmet. It kind of wraps in close.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the inspiration for his design was like Roman Greco.
You think so?
It's got that aesthetic to it.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? Talking about the Star Wars, it kind of reminds me of the Rebel blockade soldiers, how they had that large sort of helmet.
Kind of you're right.
Yeah, right. There we go. And I guess we'll come out here like that. This is a bizarre helmet. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Let's get the T-square going so you get a nice little set of.
You're getting all the technology out today of the T-square. All the tech.
Oh yeah.
Us. We're 21st century men.
I got things that turn into other. I was at Baltimore.
Yeah.
With Phil and Alex, right? And I was sitting at the table with Alex, and Alex is telling he was asking me a question, right? And it was about just kind of figure drawing and stuff.
Yep.
And in the process, he had asked me if I had like a ruler, right? And I was like, yeah. So I pulled out this little contraption, right?
Yep.
And this little ruler, right? He looked at it. And he was like, "Why has it got the little ball at the end?" Because it opened up like so, and then you could put your finger on it and put your pencil in the notches, and it's a compass at the same time.
Right.
He's like, "Wow, you're like the art James Bond."
And you said, "Yes, I am." That's what exactly I am. I am the art
You're
James
like
Bond.
the James. I said yes, yes, yes. I am.
Yes, I am.
Tell no one. Tell no one.
Tell no one. I'll have to kill you again.
It was.
That's funny.
You know, and I found this. I found this on a website that that was giving me. It was an article that I saw it in that listed a lot of the traditional tools that are used in manga art. Right.
Oh, right.
So
Okay. Yep.
in the article they talked about the quill, what kind of eraser to use, what ink to use with the quill, right? and
Yep.
I saw the little ruler, and I'm like, man, that's kind of a cool ruler, you know.
Yeah.
And like this one here, this one that you can kind of like bend into different. It's like a
Yes.
posable French curve, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
But like it's a ruler. You know what
It's
I mean?
also rolling. I have seen those ones. Yeah. I haven't seen the other tech as available, but I mean that's only exclusive to James Bond. But for us regular folk, we may not always see that kind of tech available for sale. It's only Kenny and Q that get the options for that.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
But you know, I love those little knickknacks that like you can use in your work. You know, that kind of
Yeah.
that travel well and um and sort of facilitate, you know, doing something level like on the fly. Like if you're at a show or something and you need a compass, boom, you got a ruler that turns into a compass.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you get to impress the kids. You get to
vibe.
impress the kids like Alex. Like, wow, look at Kenny. Look at all of his. Look at his tech.
Indeed.
Gather round, my children.
Yes. Yes. Come forth. Learn
It's like nanotech stuff. It's like it's next century.
the ways. Come forth and learn the ways of man with pencil.
Yes.
Come forth
Oh,
and
there you
learn the
go.
ways of man with pencil.
Chris brought in the sensible stuff. He's corrected us. In drafting class, is referred to as the adjustable curve. There we go.
Yes. And it's super handy. Super handy. That like I've had to use it when I'm doing sequentials and like say for example, I'm illustrating a doorway and the doorway has like say for example if it's like a Middle Eastern aesthetic where like the doorways have like those curved bulbous like tops, right?
Yes,
I would use it
I
for
love
that.
those. It's sort of
Yes.
like the
man, it's
very
great tool.
very
Great
cool.
tool.
Very cool. All right, I think I've got that helmet right now.
You know what? I think that's looking good.
It's tricky. Lots of little noodly bits on the old helmet there.
Now,
what
was the name of the robots?
I think they're hoverbots. I
That
think.
looks great.
I think that's.
Hover.
I'm just going to run a bit of a show. I think they're called hoverbots. You going to do a similar villain?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'll do something similar to what you're doing, and kind of like litter the ground with some of the parts.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay. I remember these. Yes.
Yeah. They're a goofy design, but I thought they're good cannon fodder.
They're very simple. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's tackle these hands.
So we can put one here. Maybe one there.
So I'm just going to drift this hand off to the right here. So when I tend to draw my hands, I kind of I mark it out as almost like a slab to start with to make sure I get the right angle. And that way I know where my fingers are drifting off and how far I've got to foreshorten the knuckles. So especially on an angle like this, it's a bit tricky because I've got to make sure both hands fit on the mace handle. Because there's nothing worse than hands that don't fit on something properly. You want it to look fairly convincing. And first bit of weaponry I've been able to draw without the park brake handle. So that's interesting. No park brake on this one.
True. True.
No park brake. All right. So first knuckle in.
Let's get a close up.
I just had a little bit of a palm there in the corner for his thumb. And I just kind of pace out where my knuckles are going, making sure I've got space for all of them. Nothing worse than being a knuckle short. It's always going to slow you down at the crap table. The Eternian crap table.
Put this little screen here. I think I can break the screen of the hoverbot.
Yeah, that's cool. Shattered little screen. Right, so
a little propulsor. It's got 1, 2, 3 segments. So it's 1, 2, do a third one here. And that is the propulsor right here. Now, see, they got a weird. Wait, I think I might have to.
They got those little squiggly arms too.
Because the
bendy arms.
Feel like, yeah, they got the squiggly arms.
Hoverbot bendy arms.
I think I'm gonna have to make this a little bigger to make the segments a little smaller. So 1, 2, and 3. So we get the little panel on the side here, and then I think I can put one of these arms like coming forward. And give it a broken screen here, that weird LED screen that would talk like Kit from Knight Rider.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Hello, Michael.
So let's get the foreshortening right on this arm.
All right, so angle in that palm there.
Let's see here. All right. Good. So it seems like we got like a principal sleeve, and then say again.
Oh, I just discovered he's got a little amulet gauntlet on one arm, but not on the other.
Yeah.
Just mixing it up. Like the one glove. It's like Michael Jackson's one glove. I'm just going to go with a gauntlet on one arm. Just because that's what the ladies
there you
like.
Go. He likes it asymmetrical.
He's styling.
The one claw.
Before you jumped on, Kenny, we were talking about
the first one that's got more background than the others.
So we're talking about cause and effect before you jumped on today, and talking about how whenever you're considering your drawing, it's everything has a reaction to something else, and whether that's a grimace on the face that has a reaction to wrinkles around the eyes or the nose, but even when you are doing things like twisting an arm or a body, it's always got some sort of reaction to the rest of the form.
Yes.
How do you manage that when you're drawing your stuff? When you're considering cause and effect?
So I think with this one, we got a little bit of it in this shot here, right? Because for example, I wanted to put him in a very dynamic pose where he's sort of like swinging back the mace in a ready stance, right? So because of the weight of the mace, we're going to tilt the hand backward, right? So it'll line up like this as opposed to like this, right? So we want to bring that back, I'd say, but a little more than 45 degrees. Right? So then he's got the bulky shoulder pad, right? So that will force the torso, that'll sort of like force the torso to be in like a 3/4 turn, right?
Yeah.
Bringing the right shoulder closer to the face, so it's like it's a chain reaction,
Right.
And because I wanted to sort of bring this leg forward, right, that'll affect the way I feather the pelt, right, hanging off of his waist, so it'll away from the leg that's coming forward, right. and like as you render through the art, like you'll pick up on all of it and make the adjustments as you go, because it's important that like when you render, I try to imagine things in motion when I render. So as I'm going through it, I'll see how things will flow, and counteract.
Indeed.
I think we can put some more robot parts here. I'll put the hand here. But that's a really good observation. Right? Like a lot of newer illustrators don't take that into consideration.
Cause and effect.
How one element or aspect of the cause and effect, how one aspect of the art will affect another aspect and so forth. It'll kind of snowball from there.
Yeah. And it ends up with, if you don't consider those things, and I've seen it before, you end up with a very disjointed image because none of it's having a real life effect on itself.
It'll feel like it's kind of it'll feel like it's kind of Frankenstein together.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so
fix that. So
I think we're good.
Background. I think I'm going to do a silhouette of like a burnt structure, like the framework of a structure.
Ooh. Yes, please. That sounds good.
Right, and have maybe two like two of the hoverbots like grounded and smoking.
Nice.
So that I can have something sort of like piercing up this way and up this way to sort of like frame Man at Arms.
Yeah.
And then that'll be my excuse to add the rising embers of fire.
Fire. That sounds good. Fire. Yeah, all right, it's time for a bit of mace action. Now, I kind of broken the rules a bit, I guess, because I've got two hands on the mace. So I'm going to have to make a few adjustments.
No, it works.
Just looking at that original
design. It works. I mean, you got more power in the swing.
Yeah.
That as you render upward, you can give it like a cone shape, sort of like a giant ice cream cone.
Yes. Now, did you base your mace on the later cuts cartoon, or did you base it on something else?
I based it on the more recent ones, the later ones, yeah.
Right. Because I noticed you got a pommel on the end of your mace there.
Yeah. Because I borrowed from all of the different designs of Man at Arms and his weapon kit.
Yeah. Did you just you've got the? Are you going to do a pistol there somewhere? You've got one on the side. He's got a sidearm, I see, hasn't he, on your drawing?
Yeah, I got one here on the side here, right? So it'll be at his hip, as opposed to like hiding it in the back. I didn't want to do that. Then I got the short sword in the foreground, battle mace in the background. So we're kind of showcasing Man at Arms in all of his glory, right? And some hoverbot wreckage on the ground, right? And some subtle framework or structure of machinery background here, just to kind of make this area of the image feel a little more robust.
Right.
Because I want to make it feel like there's a view of fire behind him, right? So sort of kind of like what you did with the He-Man, right?
Yes,
where you had the darker, exactly, right? But in this case, I'll put it behind him, so it sort of like pushes a lot of the green forward.
Nice.
And I think that the gray and maybe adding some more like chromium sort of color to the hoverbots would be a nice little contrast as well, since he's got a warmer palette.
Oh well, Chris. Yeah, I use the tracing paper, Chris, because I do get a bit of smudging happening. But Kenny's got the glove, the magic glove. He's got the Man at Arms.
Oh
glove.
Yeah.
Kenny Calderon is Man at Arms.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with these.
James Bond and
you
Man
can't go wrong with these.
Yeah, I do it just out of necessity, Chris, because I do. There's nothing worse than getting a drawing just where you want it to be, and you got smudges that you can't get rid of. And because I tend to enjoy leaving a lot of my background clean, which is just, I suppose, an old illustrator's thing, I suppose. But you can't always do that if I've got, immovable smudges and smears everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's get a wide shot of that so we can see what that looks like. Yeah. I feel like adding a little something into the background will kind of add to the drama.
Yeah, so by the time we hit the last one, Kenny will be doing full scenes. Just to keep it interesting. Full battle scenes.
Oh, yeah.
War and Peace.
Oh, yeah. That's it. You know what I mean? Just to kind of keep it interesting.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's what's been going on steadily.
Yeah, it's been growing.
Just with each piece, we add a little more. We push it a little further. And then by the time we get to Castle Grayskull, it's a full landscape.
Yes, there you go. It's a montage of all of them, like the old posters. Collect them all.
Uh-huh.
I used to love those posters.
Yes. See, Chris says what you guys do in 2 hours would take me a few days. Well, to be fair, Chris. To be fair, there's a lot of planning that goes into these. A lot of planning. Yeah. Right? That, speaking for myself, I'm not going to speak for Will, but speaking for myself, like I play around with like different gestures. I do tons of thumbnails. It's very, very seldom and far in between where like I'll just kind of jump into a piece and it feels good to me outright. It's very, very rare that happens. When it comes to anything, especially if it's like going to be something final where like I painted and it's it's going to be something permanent, I plan it out.
Yes, I'm a bit the same.
It's only in little moments like this with like my background and like things that are going to be. Yeah. It's only in little areas like this where like on the ground where I like improv. That's jazz, but like the main part, I plan everything.
I think too, it's a lot of pre-thinking for me. Like I'm always considering it. Like, oh yeah, and then usually when I let it marinate for a little bit in my tiny brain, by the time I get to sit down and do it, I've done the pre-thinking for it. So I think, oh yeah, I really want to do that, or I really want to make sure I show this angle, or yes, I'll do the robot. And if you listen to our last stream, we were already thinking last week what this is going to look like. Like today we talked about Battle Armor He-Man. I'm already thinking about Battle Armor He-Man, and he's like 5 characters away. So it's for me it's the thought process, and I do the same thing. I thumbnail things out, and just do some rough sort of poses, without sort of overthinking it, because I don't want it to be too static by the time I draw it. I want to be able to make sure that my final drawing holds that energy of the immediacy of what this pose is going to do. But yeah, there's a lot of pre-thinking in my head. sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'll go, oh, that pose, that's the pose, that's the one I want, that's the lighting.
Yep.
You know, it'll be something that jumps into my brain.
Absolutely.
What?
Like the idea that you had a few weeks back, I think it was when we were doing the preliminaries for Merman, the one where having him standing in front of a forge with like the sparks and like.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Different one, like metal. That was a great idea.
So I'm going to change
that was a great idea.
That's going to be my Ram Man. I'm going to do him in front of the metal forge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Because he looks like someone that's constantly building his juggernaut armor all the time.
True. Let's drop some scratches into his armor here. I've been thumbnailing lately. I started Dagobah painting back in the summer. There were so many screw-ups. It was better to start new. Well, that and you know what? That's it to thumbnailing, right? Because sometimes if you set your if you illustrate your thumbnails side by side, right, you can always mix and match certain elements of each thumbnail, right? Like maybe you like the pose of one and you like the background of another, so like, you can pick the best parts of each thumbnail to create like what would ultimately be your final piece. And I apply that method to everything, even sequential comics. Like when I started doing sequential pages, I thumbnail how the panels are going to look on the sheet, whether I'm going to like break the panel wall or do like a wide shot that's completely panelless, and how it like works with the flow of the story. Thumbnails are such a crucial practice that I think a lot of newer illustrators like take it for granted.
I agree. It's something that saves you so much time, and I'm talking not only just for your own sense of finalizing an image in your mind, or getting ideas down and seeing how it looks, but in terms of client approval, I mean, you can't go wrong in terms of time economy. If you've got your thumbnails down and you have them approved before you start sequentials, or if it's just a static pose or a cover, then you can rely on that signed thumbnail or approval process as your final work. So when there's late adjustments, you can say, yeah, but this is not what was approved on the thumbnails. Like, sure, you want to work with the client to make sure they get what they want, but at the same stage, it really is about that, isn't it? It's about getting them servicing what they want for their image. Can't do that if the communication's not there for the thumbnail. Yeah, I find that saves so much time.
Absolutely. These hoverbots have like a V shape.
Yeah, and they got those squiggly little metal arms too, like bendy arms.
Yeah. Like in the main body, they got like an V shape.
They kind of remind me of GoBots.
I'm trying to see how many. They kind of like the motorcycle.
Yeah,
with the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. Chopper with the 5 o'clock shadow.
That robot's face bothered me such.
That show bothered me.
Put that down.
I think that's as big as the maces I'll go, I think, with man-at-arms. I don't think I'll go bigger than that.
That looks good.
Remember the classic two sort of ringed. Nice. But anyway.
Yeah. That's good. Very clean. The left arm armor looks great. That face
reads really, really well. Like you gave him that old bull,
he's cranky.
You know what I mean? That old bull, battle worn, like vet look.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like kind of like an old knight.
That's nice. Oh yeah.
It's a bizarre design choice, isn't it? It's very retro Art Deco-ish. Yeah. Bizarre. But anyway, I love it. I love the bizarre in this universe. That's why it's been so fun.
It's like a mid-century. Yeah.
Yeah, like Metropolis.
It's got kind of a mid-century aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Back to the knee pad. And those weirdly aligned sort of bolts on his knee pad. He didn't have your ruler. That's what the problem was. He didn't have your ruler.
No,
you didn't have Kenny Tech.
He Kenny Tech.
Kenny Tech.
Holy shit.
Next time your son is in the work. Next time your son's in the
like
workshop with you.
Light source behind him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Next time your son's in the workshop with you, you can just say, "Now you're in the realm of Kenny Tech."
Yes.
What we're doing, boy. Let me teach you the ways.
Welcome. Strong you shall be.
The Kenny Tech. And now I've done that wrong.
Kenny Tech. Now that like I've made the decision that I'm gonna have like a strong sort of like burst of light here, like it'll push a lot of this darkness like forward at the base. Almost a samurai look. Yes. Absolutely. Like the segments in the armor feels very samurai-like.
He's got a bizarre sort of breathing apparatus on his costume too, doesn't he? Like a little tank.
Yeah, that's weird. It almost feels like it should be connected to something else.
Yeah, like he discovered the armor from another time.
Yeah,
and it was only part armor. Like it was connected to something that could allow them off-world travel or something. Like refashioned it.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels like there should be another piece in the face that connects to this weird like cone structure in the chest.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. Or it was meant for a different helmet that connected to it, so it became enclosed.
Right.
So that the gas mask would actually work. It's just it's such an interesting design. Now, I'm a bit indecisive about where my light source is coming from in this one. Kenny, what are your thoughts?
Man, I think it should be coming up from the bottom right.
From here?
So you get like a nice yeah from like where the head of the hoverbot would be upward,
Yeah.
like
So
diagonal.
like where an explosion's happened, has lit him from below.
Yes.
So that means I will probably have to do a multiple light source. So we'll have the natural light source and then the explosion light source.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. All right.
See, I want to do some steam here, but I don't want it to feel so sharp. Break that line up. And sort of hatch this in. Maybe the shape there. Let's get some debris on the ground. Got those little frames. I think we're in good shape. Clean this up over here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be good, Chris.
I think
getting all of the explosions and the reaction from the, is that cause and effect we're talking about?
Yep. I'm going to keep that part negative. Cast some shadow here.
Notice he's got a gem, almost like a gemstone in the middle of his belt too, not like the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
He's rocking a bit of bling. It's almost like he's there's those reflections of the royal guard almost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get this
Right here. Break some of that up with some scratches and imperfections.
Just getting the other boot in. I didn't notice at first the amount of wrappings on the boots. I always thought they were just bearskin boots. I thought it was just He-Man, but they've all got
Yeah, he's got
wrappings.
some wrappings on there, like He-Man does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Like it's just that bizarre mix of sword and sorcery and tech. Like still got wrappings on the boot, but he's got armor with buckles on the other. Like it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
it's like we got pelts. We can, create.
Yeah.
We can create hover cars, but no pants.
Hover cars with car seat covers. Now he didn't want to transfer that knowledge to the clothing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't have much confidence in Man-at-Arms on the battlefield. I'm losing confidence.
I'm telling you. All right, I think I'm about ready for the next phase.
Yeah, nice. You're going to put in some undercolors today? You're going to leave that till next time?
I think I'm going to do that next.
Yeah.
Right now, what I think I'll do is I'll pull out some of the, clean up some of the areas and prep it.
I'm not far away either. I'm basically
reconvene next Friday.
Yeah, and then start laying the colors in. Yeah, I'm about the same. So I've got the hoverbots to do, and then I'm nearly ready to finish too. So nearly there. They got that funny little 70s voice box, that, like modulator on the front of their screen too. It comes up and down, which is interesting.
I
love it. Do we know if they fire lasers? Do we know?
Say again?
Do we know if they fire lasers out of their visor or anything? Or what's their ability? Is it just grabbing?
I think they do. I think it was they would shoot lasers out of the eyes.
Okay. Or just inappropriately grabbing all the time with their little clutchy hands.
They're very grabby.
They're very grabby, very touchy.
Yes. Inappropriately.
Inappropriate grabbing.
Very touchy.
Yeah.
They like to talk to you really close. They're close talking. Pull you in.
The close talking hoverbot with his little clutchy hands. I feel like he's a workplace incident waiting to happen. Clutchy bot. Well, as Skeletor would be giving these guys written warnings all the time. HR would be involved.
Right. Look, you got to give me 3 feet. You got to give everybody 3 feet.
Clutchy bots. We renamed it the Clutchy bots.
Clutchy bots. Yes, I feel like we should write these things down.
Yes,
the flemulets, the clutchy bots.
Yes,
the handbrake.
The handbrake.
We're pulling out all the things, all of the infected.
Off meds, man. We're sort of renaming the MOTU universe as we go.
Indeed. Off the meds, merman.
Off the meds, merman.
Angry shop teacher, man at arms.
Yes.
With the chest carpet.
And a Magnum PI moustache.
Yes.
Like, he's the only one. Oh, no, wait. There are others. So Fisto's got the big beard. I feel like there's another dude. Is it Rio Blast? He's got the big moustache too, doesn't he? Rio Blast has got the big moustache. I don't know if there's too many others.
The dude with the fist. The dude with the fist. He's got
Fisto.
like a ginger beard.
Yes. Yeah. Fisto's got the big
I think
beard.
his mustache has he's got the handlebars.
He does. I love that about him. He's
inspired
me.
Yeah.
But I think it's Rio Blast. He's got the big moustache as well. He's got the off-brand man-at-arms moustache.
Let's see. Let's take a look at it really quick.
Rio Blast. Am I wrong?
Rio Blast. Let's pull that up. Ooh, my spelling is bad tonight.
He's got all the tech too.
Yes. His stash actually goes all the way down to the jawline.
Yeah, he's rocking it.
He's got that. What was his name?
He's got the full wide earth.
He was in. Yeah, he's his name. He was in All in the Family. What was this guy's name? All in the Family.
Oh God.
The name of the tip of my tongue. Cast of All in the Family. Where is it?
Rob Rayner? Is it him?
No. Shoot, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. He played the daughter's boyfriend.
Oh.
Yes, Rob Rayner. Rob Rayner. Yeah, Mike Stivic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah.
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 The big hair.
Stash, it was like that deep 70s stash that would point down past the corners.
Yes. Got the bowl cut hair and the and the big stash.
Mm-hmm. With the sharp, deep part.
Yeah.
He's got the deep part in his hair.
The part that goes right to the top of his head.
Where he was able to touch the bang behind his ear. It was great.
Right. It's like he's kind of half balding, but he's still sticking there. Like still hanging in there with the part. You know? Parting from the top of the head.
Man, he's got chaps. Is this chaps? They look like chaps.
Yes. See, that's what I'm missing because he's got the helmet on. I can't do the chops hanging down. Now, is that a little voice box modulator thing on the front of that robot?
And you see his ears because he's got the 70s haircut.
He does, yes. I think that's a voice box thing, isn't it, in front of the hoverbots? An exterminate kind of voice. Exterminate. Bit of Doctor Who happening.
A little bit. I think it also has a bit of the old school Hanna-Barbera, like Johnny Quest.
Yeah, man, it's really got a bit of
sci-fi element to it.
Yeah, I agree. It's got that real It's got that real classic style guide of the Hanna-Barbera Space Ghost heroes and villains. Let it have a villain of the week.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Dr. Octopus claws almost.
Yeah. I think that was done intentional though. So that they could have some cannon fodder for the heroes.
Yeah. You're not killing anyone. We're just killing robots, really.
Mm-hmm.
Really. There's that one. So they're a fair size, aren't they? They're not small little things. They're a fair size next to the characters.
They're pretty decent.
They're pretty chunky.
They're pretty decent. They're pretty decent size. Yeah. That I'm in one of the images that I'm looking at. They have it's like a scale chart.
All right. Okay.
The comparison of the hoverbot to, like, say, Skeletor.
Okay.
So they make up about 3/4 of like Skeletor.
Wow. Okay. So I'm just doing that one where it's kind of looking down on top as he's hitting it with the mace. I'm just wondering if I'm going big enough or not.
Oh, that's cool. Yep. Yeah. That's pretty close. Because they have such a simple design.
Yeah.
They have such a simple design that you can keep it relatively simple and like it'd still be accurate.
Yeah.
So here we are, folks. This is.
You done?
These are my pencils here for for Man at Arms.
Nice.
Yep. And I got enough of the graphite out so that when we reconvene next Friday, I can jump right into blocking in my colors.
Looks great, Kenny. I love it. You got that great twist in that waist there. That's awesome. A lot of power.
Thank you. I'm kind of proud of that part of the.
Yeah, that looks good.
Very proud of that aspect of the art.
Very solid. I
like the perspective you got there with the leg pinning the robot down. That's good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see how. I think that foot needs to be a bit bigger. I think it's too small. But we'll see how it comes together when it starts painting. Usually, I make adjustments on the fly when I'm painting because I'll say when the color starts hitting it, I go, that needs to be brighter or bigger. It's like it stands out to me suddenly.
You know what? I think the toe of the boot could be rounder, like a bit more bulbous, right? So that it feels like it's coming towards us a bit more.
Yes.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to figure out how much will be hidden by the robot too, because the robot will be in front of that.
Yeah, no, that seems about right. Because the chest of the robot.
Yeah.
The chest of the robot is pretty flat.
Yeah.
So you can get away with that top portion feeling like a button, right? And
Yeah.
when we're looking at it foreshortened,
for sure. Absolutely.
so that Man at Arms feels like he's gonna take that dome clean off.
Did Chris Borman just call me a meathead or you? Which one of us are meatheads?
No, I don't think so. I think he may be talking about is there a meathead in the MOTU? Let's see.
Meathead. There's a snout spout. See, what's the go with that guy? With the elephant head? You know, I don't understand. Like, what
There is a meathead.
Is there really? Is there for real?
There is a meathead. He's got like a.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
We've had a crossover.
Yes, he called him. And yes, but no, there's an actual meathead here, and
Is there really? Is a meathead action figure?
He's got he's got like a boar, like a wild boar kind of head, and your standard body, but I don't think it's canon to like the OG He-Man series.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of Meathead. But then they had a Stan Lee one that came out a few years ago too, so who knows? It keeps it changing.
That is true. That is true. I vaguely remember that. Yes. It's not Meathead, it's Pighead. Pighead. And I'm gonna send you a picture of this. I'm gonna send you a picture of this.
I can't. I mean, you know, hey Merman, where's Pighead? Like, where's Dog Boy? Like, what?
This and wait till you see this. This is the most absurd color palette like you can imagine.
Do we need to add that one in? Do we need to add it into the to what we're doing, into our list?
Look at man. I don't know. It could be a bonus. It could be a bonus. Look at.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait. was Pighead?
That
looks like one of these soldiers off She-Ra or something.
Insanity.
With retro play,
right?
With the lime green arms and head, and a teal-colored armor with purple highlights and a purple gauntlet. I kind of feel like
a banana cream pelt. Yes. I think this might be he might be a bonus character. Might be a bonus.
I think we need to do an addition. I think that needs to be happening in there. Oh, that's so funny. Pighead.
What
you just can't have anything wrong with you, can you? Like, without people making fun of it. Like, trying to exist in that universe would be hard, and then you get labeled Pighead. You know, not everyone can be man at arms. Not everyone's man at arms.
I can't.
You know, you got man at arms. You got man at arms, and then you got Evelyn or Evil Lynn.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, I feel it was the early '80s, late '70s. You know, I feel like there was a little bit of the wacky tobacco involved in the creative process.
And no air conditioners.
A lot.
No air conditioners.
Some funny mushrooms.
I agree. Overworked people.
You know, because you would need to be under the influence
of something.
You would need to be under the influence for this. Like Man at Arms is cool. Man at Arms is cool, but like too bad.
Yeah. The Come Join Twin. Yeah. Who are your favorites out of you? If you had to name 5 of your favorites, who were they, Kenny? And then I'll tell you mine.
Fisto, I like.
Yes.
Man at Arms, I like. Battle Damage He-Man was definitely one of my favorite looking characters. Skeletor's Panther. I forgot the Panther's name.
Panthro.
Because
it's just Panthro.
Which one?
Yeah. It's just Panthro.
Yeah, because like the Panther was like felt.
Yeah.
You know, because his Panther was like felt, like it had like those same Mossman material, right? And Mossman.
You liked Mossman?
Yeah, I do.
That's cool. Was that 5? And, so you had Panthro, Man at Arms, Fisto, Mossman,
and was it and Roboto?
And Roboto. Nice one.
Yes,
I love it.
Roboto was probably one of my favorite like action figures from Masters of the Universe. Just because he had that cool transparent chest where you could see all of his gears.
Yes, the bionic man chest.
You could switch out and you could switch out the accessory of his right hand. So it could be like a claw, it was a gun, and I think there was a blade for one of those.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, like a sword, circular sword or something, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like he was probably one of my favorites. He was like easily top favorite. Because I remember in the episode where they introduced him, he was it was like the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And like in the action figure, when you twist the action figure at the waist, the gears move and the heart throbs.
Yeah, nice. That's cool.
He's got a little plastic.
Yeah, I never had him. I never had Roboto.
That was one.
I think he came a bit later, didn't he?
He
must have been like a wave 3 or 4.
I think so.
I've got a list up on the screen there, and when I put the list together, it was in the wave of the toys. So it came, how they came out, I suppose. So,
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like
third row down.
Third row down. Yeah. Near Modulock and Mossman and Spike Gore. Cyclone. I remember Cyclone had a similar kind of look, didn't he? Where you could spin around in the middle. Man at Arms kind of helmet, but Roboto body. Yeah, like if I had to choose my ones, it was my favorites. I love Stratos, but I loved Fisto. I never had Fisto. He was always like this white whale that I could never grab. But I did get a Jitsu instead. Went down to get Fisto to come have a Jitsu. Jitsu was pretty cool. So I've got a fondness for the ones with the armored arms. They were pretty cool. But yeah, Stratos, Fisto.
Yes.
They were my go-to favorites. I loved Trapjaw.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty cool, and would have to be. I had Triclops, but he really wasn't one of my favorites. But I think Clawful was pretty amazing. He had another armored arm, which was cool.
True.
Yeah, cool characters. So who we got next after Man at Arms? We got the big Skeletor.
Oh, nice.
Have you got any ideas about that?
I think I may do Skeletor sitting in his throne.
Ooh, nice one.
With the ram.
Yes, got to have the ram.
So he feels, yeah, with the ram staff in hand.
Yes,
because because I think for that one I'm going to book and do something relatively similar to how you painted the cover for
Withered.
It's on the top.
For Withered, yes, for Withered with the devil.
Yes, yep.
Because it'll I can play around with multiple like light sources.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
It for the most part it'll be dark, but I'm not gonna lean into too many. I'm not gonna make it too dark. Like I don't want it to feel murky.
Right. Well, you can sort of, the trap with that is you can keep going. Then you do the throne room, then you do the cauldrons, then you do sorcery, and then you just 50 million hours later, you finally got somewhere. But it's a trap. I think it's a trap. It's a trap in there.
Very true. Very true.
All right, so I'm going to leave my drawing there, I think. So I've got basically, I'm going to just fill it with some bit of landscaping in the background. I might put a couple of mountains and stuff just to balance the composition. Sort of some buttes in the background, funky sort of man-at-arms landscape. And then I'm just going to do some shrapnel robots, like he's beaten a few of them up already. And then might just do some, the light source will be coming from below, but there'll be some smoke and sort of lasers and stuff happening in the background. But I think that will be it. I think that will be enough.
That's a great arc.
Because the laser will then...
The line of action in that is fantastic.
If the laser comes in that way, that'll then balance that angle out. So we have that sort of the triangles that we talked about. And with the curve of the arm, that brings you back into the picture again. Get that sort of flow happening. So
that's great.
That's the intention. So, all right. So as we near our end of our sketch up for today, ready for our paint for next time, just keep in mind too, for the sake of sales and original art, Kenny, they can buy your Man-at-Arms, your Merman, and your Beastman and your He-Man all on your Etsy store. Should you be willing to part with them?
All one word.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Wilding.
Should I be ready to part with them? They'll be up on Wilding Studios on Etsy. Wilding Studios is spelled with a Z, as you can see on the screen there. And it's all one word. When you go to follow my Instagram, and hit the link in the bio, it'll take you to my link tree where you can find all of my stuff, my TikTok, my whatnot, and so forth. So it's a great way to just find everything all in one spot.
Excellent. And the same with mine. Mine's Art of Will Clayton on Etsy, where I've been a bit slack. I haven't loaded up Merman yet onto Etsy, but all the other ones are up there, including some of the Gods and Monsters series portraits I've put up there as well, because I'm reasonably new to Etsy, so I'm sort of loading them up slowly. But yes, all of those are there, and there are some for sale. But yep, follow me along with the same handles on the social medias, and please like and subscribe both respective YouTube channels, Kenny's and mine, and it just helps us to bump up our subscriber list. Of course, that's super important. So we appreciate it. The more you share, it sort of helps us as we journey through our time as artists. Thanks, Kenny. It's been a good time. Next time we hit the paints. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And until next time, when we start to layer our paints down, if you want to join in with us, please jump in, get your sketching done beforehand. And when we live stream, you can sort of shoot us updates in the chats as we go. All good. Anything you want to say or end with, Kenny?
No, that's. Yeah, I think you covered everything.
Perfect. All right. We'll see you next time. Have a great week, everybody.